It's only.
I feel like they.
Why you have to be mad?
Sorry, what was that?
Is he in Nashville? Am I close geographically?
They've
The
been cooking it
contracts.
up.
The contracts are coming in.
No one knows what he is. He's a big orange monster
Let's
with
see.
googly eyes.
He's
and
a gritty.
Okay.
Little.
The Florida League.
What do you think of Owen's bracket? Do you remember it?
It's hopeful.
Welcome to episode 44 of the Bread Loves Hockey Podcast. Dean and Zach, welcome aboard. Good to have you guys
Hello.
back. Obviously, Dean's always here, but always got to shout him out. He's still here, so
Thanks for having me.
absolutely. Thanks for
Yeah.
being available.
You guys kicked off the Sens fan, so no more. They make the playoffs.
Only winners on this podcast.
Yeah,
I don't know.
all of our
I don't
teams
know.
are winners.
Make the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we did do that. That's more than.
How's your off season going,
could
Zach?
say.
Are you over the loss yet?
I am. It took a couple days, but I'm over it now. And I guess I want to see how the Rangers in Florida play out before I can really accept it. Just to say we could have been there. But
Well-
I will say I think that the Bruins had a really hard time with the Rangers, but they played Florida pretty good, you know.
Yeah. Are you saying you'd feel worse if Florida won?
No. I guess I don't know what I'm saying. I think, but I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what would make me feel better or worse. But
Yeah. I mean, you can argue it either way, right? Like, if Florida wins, you'd be like, that could have been us. But, like, if the Rangers win, you could be like, well, we could have beat them. Like,
right. I don't know, but we're getting over it.
yeah, I think I said it on one of the pods. Like, I was like, this year, the loss hurt a lot less than years past because, like, there's a bright future. The expectations were low this year. So, like, I didn't expect to make it to the second round at the start of the year. Like, I was thinking bubble team. I think you were as well. So,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think they definitely they exceeded expectations through the regular season.
mhm.
And through beating Toronto, that was great. That's always fun. But just the fact that they were right there. If it felt they weren't right there, but they were right there. A bounce here, and you're in Game 7, and what happens? You figure, we go what if all day. We'll do that off the pod.
Sure.
I think,
Well, we do have one other Boston team still playing. It's the PWHL Boston women's team. And we're recording right now during Game 5, which this is a best-of-5 series in the finals. They are currently tied 0-0 at the start of the second. And I haven't watched all the games, but I did watch the overtime the other night with the whole Minnesota scoring to win the series and then getting overturned for goal interference, and then Boston scoring minutes later to
Yeah.
go and force a Game 5. So as a Boston fan, it was exciting.
The
and it was
disallowed
great.
goal was in overtime.
yeah.
I
Mhm.
don't know. I feel like anytime I see anything about the league, I like it, but I feel like I don't see much on the social media or any of the highlights. I feel like you got to look for it more than you should have to for how good of a hockey product it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like it should be, I guess, all over my feed stuff with all the hockey stuff that I like in general.
I feel like Nesson talks about Boston, like the women's team. But yeah, other than that, like
Yeah.
I think watching the NHL playoffs, they would mention it, but I haven't heard anything.
No, they
Right.
haven't really.
Yeah, no, not much.
Yeah, I mean, I see stuff on Twitter, but I think that's just because, like, I've liked some things from, like, the PWHL teams and stuff, so, like, it sort of shows up that way. But I do think they should have an app, too, which I commented in one of the live streams before, and they were like, oh, we don't know if it's coming, but, like, we have certainly suggested it, so it's like, all right, that's good. I feel like it'll probably be in the works for this summer. along with the branding. I think once the branding comes in, that will really impact the way that people hear about the league.
By branding, you mean the team names?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
And
yeah.
team names, logos, probably different jerseys.
Yeah,
colors.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Maybe.
They should have.
Individual
They
owners.
should have. Bring back, make the old NHL app the new PW
Yeah.
app.
That's the plan. Maybe that's
It'll
it.
take
That's the plan.
off.
Yeah.
It'll take off.
I would be definitely okay with that.
Yeah. It is kind of
Well,
annoying.
now-
I go to the website to see like the scores and the schedule. Like it is nice that they have that banner at the top, but like other than that, it's like there's no easy way. You can't just type in like PWHL Boston score. There's no like Google widget like there are for other sports.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm going to try to watch a little more than I did this year. Pay a little closer attention, I guess.
Yeah.
Wonder if you can bet on them. Wonder if you get them on DraftKings. I doubt it, right?
Not.
Not sure.
I forget. And you don't watch basketball at all, right? I've just been like following the.
I watch college basketball, but I don't watch NBA. But if I were to root for a team, I said it all my whole life, it would be the Celtics.
Yeah. Well,
So
they're
I'd
in the
like
finals,
it'd be
right?
cool to see them win. Yeah, I did see that. Is
I
the
just
other
kinda
team
keep
there?
up with the scores?
Is the team there? I don't even. I see something when they move on to the next round. That's
Yeah.
about it. Is the other team they're playing? Who was it? I think it was like Dallas or.
Dallas or Minnesota?
Is
yeah.
that decided yet?
Not yet.
No, it's
Minnesota
3-1 Dallas.
won last night to stay alive. They were
What's
down
that?
3-0, so not looking good for them. But it's never good
God.
for Minnesota. We were talking about that before we started. It's just
Well, yeah, you're right. They're gonna win the. They're gonna beat Boston tonight. Then they need something.
well, I guess
the
we'll see.
jinx
I
on.
guess we'll see. I think it would be fun to see Boston win at home. Like I was saying during Game 4, like I was still rooting for Boston, but I just wanted whoever wins to win at home. So like I didn't want Minnesota to win Game 5 if they lost Game 4, and I didn't want well, I guess that's it. Because Boston
What's
couldn't
the,
How
win
are their
Game
travel,
4.
What's the travel schedule for the 5-game series? Do you know?
I think there were 2 days in between.
Or it's been, like
Or
home,
3 days.
Is it 2-2 like 2-2-1 or like?
Oh yeah, it's
Boston
2-2-1.
Bus ride. It's a long bus ride for the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, it's 2-2-1.
But Boston had
my
home ice
longest-
advantage.
Yep. Because they were the
They
three.
barely made the playoff.
They were the 3 seed, and
Oh,
Minnesota
yeah.
was the 4 seed.
Okay.
That's cool. My longest hockey bus trip was from Lake Placid to Minnesota and back. We went out to the Shattuck St. Mary
Oh.
tournament.
Jeez,
Terrible. I mean, we had a nice bus and everything, but
that's
we were gonna fly, and then last minute they're like, nope, we're taking the bus. I was like, no.
Mm,
And it took us like 26 hours.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like was that a 26-hour trip, or did you have like a stop along the way?
I mean, we stopped and like changed drivers and just kind of, stopped to get out and do stuff. But I mean, it was 26, 27 hours from time we left to the time we got there. But, it's probably an hour or two of messing around, stopping. And
Yeah.
Jeez.
Did you do well at least in the tournament?
we did better than I thought we should have. Like that, I mean, that tournament was like unreal players. That was where I played against DeBrinket. And, Greenway was there because he was at Shattuck's.
Yeah.
But we did better than I thought we were gonna. We won a couple.
There you go.
We probably didn't deserve to be there. There was, those are big schools,
Yeah.
but it was cool.
Nice.
that is cool. It's like the OHL. They got the Memorial Cup going on right now, and I think like London is basically just beating everybody. I don't even know if the other teams have won any games yet, and it's like you really don't want to get shut out in that. I don't know like a ton about it because I don't really follow the Canadian leagues, but yeah, I think you want to at least show up a little bit because I think it's what the OHL champion, the WHL champion, and the QMJHL champion maybe that all like play. I think it's something like that.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how. Like you say, I don't pay a lot of attention to it either. One thing, I mean, it seems like I heard that all three leagues, like I don't know if it was the final for each league, was like a sweep or a lot of blowouts or something. Like there's like no parity, the basketball-esque, if you will.
I did see that. Let's see. Gosh, this website is slow. Or my computer is.
Yeah, and I don't even follow because you had the Calder Cup playoffs on here. I was like,
but if you have three leagues, and one team wins each league, how do you get two to play for the Memorial Cup? Stupid question, and I'm sure there's a very logical explanation.
No, I think there's probably a fourth one that I didn't know about.
There's only the three major Canadian, I think. Well, the three that you mentioned.
I'm seeing a fourth logo on here. I'm on the website. WHL, OHL, QMJHL. But then what's this fourth one? The logos are so tiny I can't tell what I'm looking at. And I don't know how to navigate this website.
The ECHL.
Okay. London Knights, Saginaw Spirit, Moose Jaw Warriors, Drummondville, Voltigeurs. Now I know London
maybe
is
the
from
BC, the BCHL. Is that what it is?
That could be, yeah. Drummondville.
I guess I never knew they were part of the major junior. I thought they were more of, junior A, not major junior.
Yeah.
Which, okay, so it's not them. I don't know which team is it then? Is it Moose Jaw or Saginaw? Moose Jaw.
This is some thrilling content here, Brendan.
Oh yeah, this is good. I just gotta find this out. It's driving me crazy. Oh, so it's Canadian Major Junior is Moose Jaw Warriors. I don't know. Gets so crazy with all the Canadian minor and major leagues. It drives my head nuts.
We'll figure it out offline.
You can put a text edit right here, and you can pause and read whatever Brendan finds out and tells me to type.
If it's even, I don't even know if I'll bother with it. But go ahead, whatever, look it up for yourself. Anyways, let's do something we do know about, because clearly I shouldn't have even brought it up.
Like the NHL playoffs, perhaps? Or do you want to
Hey.
finish with the Calder since it's kind of related?
Yeah, that sounds good. Still going on. All the conference finals are still underway. We have one series tied 2-2. That's the Rangers-Panthers series. And we have Game 4 of the Oilers-Dallas series starting in about 20 minutes or so. And Dallas is up 2-1 in that one. Zach's got 25 big ones on Dallas tonight. I think he's feeling pretty good about that too.
I think that, I've watched. I didn't really watch any of Dallas in the regular season, but I've watched them, and you look at their lineup. They have 5 lines that can legitimately play. I think that Vegas and Dallas, as much as I hate to compliment you and your team, and the LTIR scam, could have been the Cup final. And Dallas has by a mile the hardest path to the Cup, and I still think they're going to do it.
Yeah,
they're good.
They're beating the best teams right now to make it. So, Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people thought, yeah, either Vegas or Dallas could have gone to the finals, whoever made it out. Which is why I was also not as disappointed with the Game 7 loss like you guys were feeling with Boston, like especially with the Cup last year. That always softens the blow. But
Yeah. Right.
yeah, they've been incredible. Obviously, Colorado just won it a couple years ago, and they weren't messing around in the first round against Winnipeg, and they kind of got dismantled by Dallas, and now seeming like the Oilers are falling into a similar trap. Dean is a little more believer, I guess, as far as Edmonton. Sounds like, anyways.
Yeah. Mhm. I mean, it's the one series where I'm like, I don't mind who wins. I'm rooting for Dallas, but like, I like both teams. But I mean, we talked about before we started recording the question mark in goaltending for Edmonton, with Skinner in net. But I think the other thing is, as I think we talked about this too, as the rounds go further and further, the refs call less and less, and that definitely hurts Edmonton in this series because, I mean, their power play hasn't been great this series, but they have.
They've only had 5 of them, haven't they? I don't know if that number's right, but I heard they've only had 5 of them through 3 games.
It's something like
Could be
that. But I
wrong.
also know Dallas is one of the least penalized teams. Like, they play really disciplined hockey.
Yeah.
True.
So that's part of it, but I mean, yeah, I
They
gotta
don't
find.
cheat. They cheat less.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right. If special teams isn't a factor, and yet in Dallas depth, I don't think it's even close, especially with the goaltending mismatch. Did you see the Heiskanen or what? Heiskanen. Did you see his time on ice stat?
Yeah, he
like,
wasn't allowed to
Over
goal in like.
200 minutes, he hasn't in the last. His last 200 some minutes, he hasn't been on the ice for a goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's unbelievable.
I think he did end
Like,
up
not
letting
even
a goal in, or not letting a goal in, but being on ice for a goal against in Game 4 or Game 3. But yeah, it was like a pretty incredible stretch, and he's still obviously doing really well. They're just
It ended in Game 3.
and he's like shutting down McDavid and Draisaitl too. It's not like he's going up against Warren Fogle
Right.
or whatever. Like,
True.
no, he's putting in hard minutes. So yeah, full credit to Dallas. They're doing so good.
Yeah, and I mean, especially if this goes into the later games of this series, Edmonton's gonna look back at that. Was it Game 2 that they had the lead? Oh, no, it was Game 3, right?
They blown a couple leads. I think they had the lead in I think in Game 3 they were up 2-0, and then they ended up losing 4-3.
Yeah.
Or well, I think it was 5-3 with the empty net maybe.
Game 3, I bet Dallas for the game. I texted my old man. I said, "Hey, you should bet Dallas. Good odds." It was like, 2.20 on the odds we look at. I was like, I can't believe you can get it at that. They went down 2-0. He goes, "Remind me never to listen to you again." I said, bet more on them. He goes, "No." And then I texted him after the game. I was like, "I hope you did." He's like, "You're an idiot."
I think this one still goes the distance.
You think
I would
so?
like it to.
It's
Yeah.
I mean, McDavid and Draisaitl have to play 24 minutes a night each on ice. But sure, that's fine. But how many games in a row can you do that? And that's just not a winning recipe. And they have to score. You gotta score too.
And stop pucks.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're good. Like they're a good team, and they have good pressure. But it's like they have lapses in their own zone. I'm talking like 5 to 7 minutes. The Bruins do this too, where they like just forget they're playing hockey or forget how to do it, and it's just unbelievable. It's very similar to the Bruins team, except they have a couple really high skill guys. But they just forget what
the Bruins. But when Edmonton turns it,
Edmonton
turns it on, it's way more than Boston turning it on.
I agree for sure. They can score, and they score highlight real goals, which the Bruins don't do.
Not really, except for maybe Pasta.
Right. Yeah. Pasta can shoot it. Did you real quick before I don't want to go too far off the playoffs, but did you see the Pasta all the world championship stuff? He's going
we're
crazy.
gonna talk about this too. I mean, we can talk about it now. It's tangentially related.
I want to hear who you guys think is going to be in the Cup final and who's going to win it all.
Do you have anything else on the Edmonton-Dallas series?
No, I mean, I said before, it started that I think that Dallas is going to win, and I still feel that way. I'm rooting for Edmonton because I do think their window is a lot shorter, and if they could somehow find a way to make it past Dallas, they might have a chance in the finals. But I think it's going to be Dallas, and it's so tough with the Florida Rangers series. I really, especially after last night with the Panthers tying it up, they finally break through in overtime after losing the last two games in OT. I'm right on the fence on this one. I think the Rangers will ultimately pull it out just because it's seemed like predestined to be their year. But I wouldn't be too surprised if it was Florida.
Have you watched the games? Have you watched the Florida series?
I haven't watched all of them. I think they played last night, and I missed a good chunk of it because we were at the Thunder game. But it's been an entertaining series. It's been a really physical and controversial series with all the
Jacob Trouba.
Yeah, with all the elbows and what have you, and they've been coming from both teams. I know Lomberg, I think, had a pretty good one on, was it Kako or VC maybe?
VC, yeah.
Yeah, there's just been a
there
lot.
There wasn't any discipline on that or anything, right? Because I saw Lomberg didn't play the next game. I just need somebody to do something to Bennett. I wish True would just give Bennett one time. All the Bruins fans will be happy.
Yeah, he was a freaking pest in the Boston series, and he definitely got away with some shit, which I think changed the whole series. But maybe that's just my Boston bias coming through a little bit. But it's been not a clean series by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think anybody who's a fan of anyone from the East is particularly happy with either of these teams coming out. I think a lot of them are rooting for the West because it's both these guys are got some scummy players on there, or at least players that get away with dirty hits and under the table sort of stuff.
I think the only reason I don't want the Rangers to win is because being where I live, I have too many Rangers fans around me. I just can't, I don't want to hear. I don't really have a lot against them. True, but throws the questionable here and there, but I don't really dislike them other than the fact I have too many Rangers fans around me. Does Florida even have fans? I've never met. Have you ever met somebody that's Florida Panthers fan, Dean? Because I don't think I have. That's their team.
When I was on the cruise last year in the finals, there were a couple Florida fans.
Okay. Fair enough.
That was it, though. I had to go on a cruise that left out of Florida to find Florida fans.
I haven't even met a bandwagon Florida fan, and they're awesome. The Panthers are good.
Yeah.
So who do you got in the final?
I think realistically Dallas, and then I gotta say Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida's been outplaying the Rangers. They had 2 games that they lost in overtime, and I mean, Bobrovsky isn't. Actually, he's been playing fine this series, but he's no Shesterkin.
I think the only place the Rangers are better is in goal.
I'd agree with that. Or maybe their top goal scorers might be better than Florida's top goal scorers. You could probably argue, but Zibanejad hasn't done much. Panarin hasn't done much.
This series anyway.
They both been been held off
Oh.
pretty much. I think Zibanejad has 0 points. Maybe Panarin has like 1 or 2. I know he has. I don't think he has any goals. So they're shutting him down or them down, but then they're like getting goals from Goudreau, and I swear Rempe almost had one late in the third period in Game 3 or Game 4.
I saw that.
So
Florida
I don't know.
doesn't have I feel like Florida doesn't have. I mean, they got Barkov, but I don't know if they have any other studs. They just have a bunch of really good guys. I mean, Tarasenko used to be, but they have 8 guys who they're all really dangerous.
I mean, yeah, Verhaeghe, I think, is probably in the conversation, especially for some reason in the playoffs he elevates his game to 11.
True.
Which you always want guys like that. So I'd probably put him kind of below Barkov. I mean, maybe in the Kachuk, Barkov sort of area,
I agree,
but not quite there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Barkov, and then
Maybe
him's a layer of Kachuk, Verhaeghe, and
maybe Reinhart.
somebody else, and then there's another 3. But I feel like they're all just dangerous. They're deep. They're a good team. I would like to see the Dallas Florida final. I think that would be really good, back and forth. I think that Florida, if it was Florida Edmonton, I think Florida would just beat them up.
I think so too. I think it would be kind of entertaining to watch, but I do think Florida would dismantle Edmonton pretty handily.
They're mean.
And imagine the travel for that series. That's one of the furthest away geographically Stanley Cup final matchups you can have. Northern Alberta versus frickin' South Florida.
I think at the time the Boston-Vancouver one was the furthest. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's been one further since then.
Probably not. Yeah.
You'd have to basically just go south.
Yeah, Vancouver, Florida would be probably the worst of it.
Yeah.
Do you have Dallas over Florida in the finals, Zach?
That's what I got. That's my pick. Yep.
That's also what I have. So.
All right. What do you got?
I think I have Dallas versus New York. I think I gotta go with the Rangers though.
All right. There's been have you seen all the similarities to '94? So
Yeah.
it makes you say. Yeah,
I got the vibes. I've been loosely following that sort of stuff along on Twitter. It pops up every once in a while, all the parallels to the 1994 run. And
there's a lot.
There was something where what's his name, Wenberg, scored for the Rangers. It was his first goal of playoffs, and the last time that a Rangers trade deadline acquisition store. I think it was for the game winner, or the game. Maybe it was for specifically an overtime goal. I don't know. One of those, either a game winner or overtime goal. The last time that they had that was 94. So I was like, oh, well, there's just one more. I mean, obviously they're cherry picking things. I'm sure you could do that with any random year if you really wanted to, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's starting to add up a little too much.
Speaking of vibes, I've been hesitant to say Dallas is going to win because Brennan's been picking Dallas to win all year. So I'm like, well, Brennan's never right about these things.
That's true.
Oh, no, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
Tell me that, Dean.
I did pick them in my preseason bracket.
Well, they can still win tonight to get you your money, but they're not going to win the whole thing.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I think if they win tonight, they win this series, right? I mean,
I think so.
Teams have lost after being up 3-1 before.
No.
What teams?
Who does that?
I've never seen that.
Vegas has done that too. They did that in frickin' 2019. That was the worst. Stupid San Jose.
Oh yeah.
They have so little on us except for that. They have that, and they have knocking us out of playoff contention in 2022 because they beat us in the shootout, and we needed those points to make the playoffs. So they have that one on us too. But
what year did Vegas miss? Did Vegas miss playoffs one year?
Yeah, it was 2 seasons ago, so 2021, 22. They're pretty much injuries were a primary reason for that one.
They tried to blow it this year. Everybody wanted to go golfing earlier. Like, we'll sneak in as the 8 seed and just ride her to the Cup final.
That sounded like the plan. Yeah.
It's 7 seed, right? Wild card 1.
No, they
Or
were
the
wild card 2. Nashville was wild card 1. That's why we played Dallas.
I was impressed with Vancouver's playoff effort as well.
Me
I
too.
I picked Nashville.
So
I
did
thought
I.
they were. I think that was more picking with my heart, but I don't. I live right here, 10 minutes from Canada, but I don't want to see a Canadian team win. I'd ever. Absolutely fine with them never winning any of them.
I'd like to see me
Sure, but do it in Boston.
Do it in Boston. There you go.
So yeah, I've read a lot of stuff that's just all BS, but
yeah, Draisaitl's coming to Boston.
Let's go, baby.
Draisaitl for DeBrusque, 1-for-1. That's what I'm hearing.
DeBrusque.
We'll throw in old Mark.
Finally,
See what
we
happens
finally
tonight.
You can have floorboard
accommodate
too.
his trade request.
Yeah,
That would be funny. Yeah, the Allmark
Kinda.
stuff is heating up. I think
something's gonna happen.
I think Daily Faceoff had him and their number 2 for trade bait. So I wouldn't be surprised if. I mean, I don't know when that gets done, but yeah, I would be surprised if he stayed with Boston this year.
Yeah,
He wants to, and I would like him to. As you know, the 2 goalie deal is just so comforting. It makes you feel good. You don't worry about injuries. I sleep good at night, Dean, for the most part, and I would be scared not to have him. But the team would just be better. You know what I mean?
yeah. We've talked about it before. It's a luxury to have 2 really good goaltenders. Like
I know,
in the
but we've
playoffs,
gotten
most
too
teams
used
just
to
ride
it.
one, and like
We've got it, and that's the way, and that is real. But we've gotten too used to it. If your guy goes down, you better have the defibrillator.
well, also the thing is, Brandon Bussey, if he doesn't play in the NHL this year, he goes on waivers. So
Really?
he needs to play. I don't know how exactly it works. If he just needs to play like an NHL game, but he needs to be like on the roster. Otherwise, I'm sure someone's going to claim him.
Is he
So-
good? Dude, I know. I mean, I've heard a little bit about him, but I've never really watched any of the AHL
Other
stuff.
than that preseason game where he had that one really good save, I haven't watched much either.
Yeah.
But
Is he capable?
I think so. I mean, I think he has. He
Come
has
play
shown
20
promise.
Play 25 games?
Only one way to find out.
Yeah. Like,
Throw him to the Wolves.
We have like
can always
20 million
sign
in cap space, but if you want to re-sign Swayman, you want to re-sign DeBrusque probably.
I don't think I want to re-sign DeBrusque. What's he asking for? You think he gets re-signed? I don't want to turn this into a Bruins pod too much on you, but do you think I haven't talked to you, Dean?
I mean, it depends on the price, but last I heard, they were very far apart. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure they were.
and like, if he wants 6 or 7,
7 what?
What sort of
100,000?
what sort of range are we looking at here as far as contract length? I don't even know how old he is.
4 years, maybe.
His previous deal was his
Like
previous.
4 by
I think
7 would be like, I don't love it, but like,
is that $4 million a year times 7 years or 7? What is
4
it?
years,
Seriously?
7 mil.
4 years at $7 million. Yeah.
Oh,
Zach
fucking
can't fall out of his
way.
chair.
They will never pay that. And I hope they don't.
Well, it's also, I mean, the Boston philosophy of like taking discounts is done. Well, what's he making? What
Which
has he
sucks.
been making?
He's been getting 4. I'll give him 4.5. I'll give him 5. But he can go get 5 years at $6.5 million from Edmonton or even scary, but Toronto.
Yeah.
He can go somewhere and get 6.5.
I know
For
where he
4 or
wouldn't
5.
be going. He wouldn't be going to Vegas because of
But yeah, if
Bruce.
he's asking for like 8 or something, I'm like, no.
Oh,
No
8.
way. He can't even say that. Somebody can't even say that with a straight face.
Yeah.
He's good in the playoffs. And
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but
But like, if you lose him, I mean,
27.
we're trying to get secondary scoring. Like, we're trying to bolster our offense, and losing
I
him,
know.
like, whether you like him or not, he contributes to the offense.
Agreed.
Like, we're looking for what? Like, well, either a center or another winger. And if we
but
lose
he just
DeBrusque,
disappears at times
yeah, but
in the
getting rid
regular
of
season.
him, he's literally disappeared. Like,
He had a good playoffs. He was, I arguably, Dean, through 13 games, however many they played, he was the best Bruin besides Jeremy Swayman.
Yeah, I think Jeremy Swayman is.
He was the best Bruins forward.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as
I could see that. I
I don't
mean,
know how-
you could give kudos to Pasta just for the overtime goal in Game 7. Like, that's worth at least something. But he kind of,
Yeah.
like, if he didn't do that, I think a lot of people would have been questioning his effort, or not his effort, but his lack of scoring at least in the first round. So, yeah, I'd probably give it to DeBrusque.
I mean, DeBrusque has gotten over 40 points the last 3 seasons, and not this current season, but last season, when he like broke his foot or whatever, he still had 50 points in 64 games.
yeah, okay.
I mean, like a 40
That's good. I
point a
guess
year
I'd like to
guy,
see-
whether
what's 40 point? How much does 40 points get you paid? That's a point every other game.
sure, but how much are you paying someone like that if you're gonna sign them? To
I'm
the
asking
team?
you. I don't know.
More than $5 million.
What?
Easily.
Come on. Are you
Points are
serious?
at a premium. You gotta get scoring, especially a team like the Bruins. Like
Please,
David
David
franchise is
Pastrnak,
built from
for
goalie
Christ's
out.
sake.
You get your goaltending, which we have, like we talked about, luxury. You can trade Olmark. Our defensive core is good. We have young guys, and then our forwards, we need more scoring. We need top 6 scoring, and we need some secondary scoring.
Yeah,
I don't know if
so
we can
sounds
afford
like you're saying
DeBrusque.
we need to score more goals than the other team. That's what it
Mhm.
sounds like you're saying. Swayman's deal is kind of scary. I think DeBrusque is gone. I don't think.
Really?
I think he can get more money. I don't know if he's after money. He's probably losing a little bit of faith here, is he not, Dean? I mean, I think he can get more money somewhere else.
Yeah, well, maybe he likes the guys. Maybe he likes. Buffalo.
Sure, but his old man works for the Oilers, and McDavid plays for the Oilers. You don't think if he gets an offer there, if he gets the same offer from them as he does Boston, you don't think he's going there?
Who knows?
Yeah, I know. I'll tell you, he's going.
They haven't offered him anything yet. They're still playing. They might not even need his services if they can somehow win the cup this year.
Right. They're lucky enough not to be thinking about the off season.
Yeah, they do have that luxury right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of second guess myself betting against McDavid and Draisaitl, but I just think that's all they got. I mean, Skinner would have to do what Swayman what the level that Swayman was playing to, or Shesterkin. He would have to have just a unreal performance, I think, for them to get there, for them to be there.
Yeah. Something's got to change there, and I think the defensive support has to be there too. There've been a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Flack, I guess, given towards Nurse and CC's in particular with their sort of defensive play, and like the continued just disappointment with Darnell Nurse is like, yeah, good-ish player, overpaid, and not very strong in his own zone, which is like, you can't be paying him that much money, especially now that you've got Bouchard and you've got
Bouchard's a stud.
You've got who else? Ekholm, who has like been great. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, you've got these two guys that are clearly performing much better than the guy you're paying the most money to, And it's like, now what do we do with this guy? Like, just throw him on the second pair and hope he does well enough to justify the contract. I don't know. They're kind of in a weird spot with him. So if they don't get anything done this year, like, I think they're gonna have to totally revamp like what they have on the blue line.
You can't. I mean, who's taking that deal on?
Right.
I mean, yeah, you might get a little bit notoriety for making it this far, but it's not him, right? I mean, he's getting extra eyes seeing him play extra games, but he's not the deal. I mean, doesn't he get McAvoy money? Not that McAvoy's. McAvoy had a good season, solid off season, but he's not. His money's crazy. Like you said, for second pair behind Bouchard and Ekholm.
Yeah, I think it's like what 8 by 9.5 or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was
9.25 paid out until 29/30.
Yikes.
Like, and then meanwhile you've got Ekholm making $6 million. He is 34.
Yep.
And then Bouchard is making 3.9. It's like, yeah.
Till when though? When's Bouchard get paid?
He's an RFA next summer. So
back up the Brinks truck.
But then
I like him.
Yeah, I like him. I like him too. He had a pretty solid year this year. After I wasn't exactly sure where they were going with him or like what his trajectory was looking like, but yeah, I think he's been better than advertised.
I've been on him for a couple of years. I like him, and I'm starting to like Ekholm too. Ekholm's just a beast, just a Viking.
That was
I didn't realize he was 34.
Move.
I guess I thought he was, I don't know, 31, 32.
He spent a while in Nashville.
Yeah, he was on the Preds for a while, I feel like.
Yeah. I know he was. I guess years fly.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, last Bruins question. How much would you pay Swayman?
I know. I wanted to ask you, but I didn't want to bring it back to the Bruins.
My podcast, I can do it.
I don't know, man. You 8 years guaranteed, right?
Sure.
He's 25 years old. 26, 25.
It's prime money making territory right there.
Well, people were saying after the playoffs, like, give him blank check, like whatever he wants.
Sure.
They were.
But that ultimately screws the team.
Give him Bobrovsky money.
No.
10?
I mean,
goalies are such a
7?
tough, though. Like, especially for 8
7?
years. You could get 4 good years of him, and then you could just fall off a cliff.
I mean, that could be anybody. I mean, I guess I'd be okay. I would prefer 7 times 7. How about that? You think it's over or under that?
I'd say over AAV. I have no idea about term.
What is the?
I think I would try to offer like an 8 by maybe like 6.75 somewhere around there.
Oh,
see if
absolutely.
he like takes the extra like the max contract and just tries to,
Yeah, if he says no, just tell him we'll keep
Get
Linus. He's getting moved.
I mean,
So
I don't know,
we also got the guy that won the Vesna, so take a goddamn team-friendly deal.
I just don't want to
Not even-
arbitration
it's not even-
again. Like, he doesn't
yeah,
deserve
I don't
that.
want that either.
Yeah,
It's never fun to go to arbitration and then to have to do it twice, especially with like how good
But yeah,
you've been.
how well you've played in the playoffs. And like, well, let me tell you why you suck.
Yeah,
You
I
didn't give me
know.
any money.
I heard.
It's like,
I
wow.
don't know much about it, but I heard it was a bad experience for him.
Yeah. Well, arbitration in general is basically one side is trying to say all the reasons why they shouldn't pay you, and then you're trying to say why you deserve money.
It's not a fun experience.
I mean, to be fair though, he's been solid last year and he was good this year, but I mean, it's a small sample size. Not that I'm doubting his ability. I think his ability, he's fully capable, but I mean, just throwing out that money.
I agree.
It's
Because he was
scary.
like, I mean, he was kind of streaky. Like it seemed like whenever Olmark was hot, Swayman wasn't playing great, and then vice versa. Like Swayman would step up when either Olmark was hurt or just wasn't playing well. And then yeah, obviously he had this great playoff run, but you don't expect him to be a 950 goalie for 8 years if you sign him that long. Like that's just obviously unrealistic. But yeah, you don't know what kind of level you'll get out of him, and it's hard to base it off of whatever 13 games or however many we saw in the playoffs. But
Yeah.
I mean, what if you?
He was dialed in too.
But like, if you keep Olmark, you're not gonna keep him super long term. And it's like, if you let Swayman go, it's like he's a young goaltender that shows more than promise. And like, where else are you gonna get? Like, there's so many teams that don't have a good goaltender, and it screws them. And it's like you're not gonna find a goalie that good on the like free agent market.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We'll give him 8 times 7.
Done deal.
Okay.
Undeal.
I was watching Chicklets there yesterday, and they had Pasta on, and they were grilling him because apparently he made the comment that he's going to be recruiting this summer, Dean, trying to get guys. And I've been hearing. I heard Natchez there from Carolina, who's a Czech guy,
Yeah.
was that was the rumor. Omar for Natchez. And so the guys, Grinelli there was asking, he's like, "Hey, have you been recruiting this guy?" And he made the comment. He goes, "I'd love Draisaitl." Costa did. So
Funny.
it's confirmed Draisaitl to
Yeah,
Boston.
that's the confirmation right there, folks.
Well, Edmonton's gonna be out of the playoffs soon. Dallas scored on their first shot of the game.
Oh my God.
Come on, did they really?
Mm-hmm.
Who would have guessed that? Wyatt Johnston. Should have bet him too. I bet him last game.
He's been
I
electric.
bet him. He's unreal. I
And
bet
he's
him. Yeah.
21. He just turned 21.
And I think he was like the 21st pick. I mean, there was like a lot of teams that didn't take him.
Yep.
But I bet him last game scored. He did too. I like him. Send him to Boston too. Draisaitl Johnston to Boston.
I don't think they're letting him go.
Omar DeBrusque out.
There you go. I was just looking to see, like what, as far like if somebody would think to offer sheet Swayman, like a team that really needs a goalie and
That's
has
next
money.
year though, right? Are we good this year? Is it this year?
Yeah, it's this year. He's an RFA
he's
right
a
now.
free agent.
Yeah, you're right.
Like
So real.
I don't know.
How does the offer sheet work? They can't offer sheet before July 1st, or can they?
I think they.
How does the offer sheet thing kick in?
I think
They need
it's
the-
afterwards, after July.
The player needs to qualify as a Group 2 restricted free agent or a Group 4 restricted free agent. That doesn't help much.
Because somebody can't just offer him a deal right now.
I don't think so.
Right.
And maybe they
I
have
mean-
to wait to see if the Bruins match his qualifying offer first. I was trying to look into it and on Cap Friendly, and I was getting a little confused.
The qualifying offer is what he used to get paid, right? Is what his last contract was. I think that's what qualifying offer means, or no?
Well, that's the you know what? Let me take a look. Teams must extend a qualifying offer to a restricted free agent to retain negotiation rights. So qualifying offer is an official standard player contract, which will be 1 year in length and which can be subject to salary arbitration should the player be eligible. So that's the number that you offer them for a 1 year deal to start the process, more or less. And that number is calculated from their base salary. So it's for him, I think I saw it was like 870 something thousand. Let me see.
Right.
So that
So,
would
I
be,
mean,
so that's
obviously,
basically
would-
doing what they did last year again, except and maybe not with arbitration, but that's where you start. So let me see. Qualifying offer. Oh, okay. So maybe it is just. I think it is just his base salary from last year. So 3.475 would be the qualifying offer.
Gotcha. So it's the previous deal. You just guarantee him that, and that keeps you your rights to him.
Yeah. So it's it's because his AAV was more than $1 million. It's just 100% of the base salary. So it's a little bit more if they make a little bit less than that.
Right.
So, anyways, that's where that would potentially start. I still don't know
So
what.
they get the threshold for the prices, what draft picks you get, like first rounders and stuff like that.
Oh, that you're talking
That's
about
another.
the compensation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's dollar amount related, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if somebody offers him, if it's over 10 million, you get 2 first and blah blah blah.
Oh. You know, Cap Friendly has an offer sheet calculator.
Yeah, I'm
So
on
what's his
there right
cap
now.
hit right now?
Really?
3.475.
3.475.
Yeah. So that would be one second round pick. Would be the compensation if they offered something in that range. But obviously, we'd be looking more towards the one first rounder, 1 second rounder, and 1 third rounder range, probably, which is in between 6.4 and 8.5 around there. So that's probably where it would be.
A first, a second, and a third. If it's between, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Between 6.4 and 8.5.
Yep. So I think that's, and it's like, how far towards the upper echelon of that do you have to go before Boston doesn't match it? Like, is it like
Right. Well,
8?
I think if you're going over the 8.5, which is the next level,
That's a
like, we don't
guarantee.
match that, and we take the 2 first rounders.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what's over 8.5?
2 first, a second, and a third.
So yeah, I don't think the Bruins match that.
Or if they want to pay him over 10.7, you get 4 first rounders.
4 firsts.
Come on.
Oh, Vegas doesn't have 4 firsts.
That's like
so they can't.
someone pay him. Yeah, Vegas, come on, you guys like.
Vegas can't.
spend
Florida
money.
can't.
They just put everybody's on LTIR to start the season. They can.
That doesn't get you first rounders.
The whole saving Sakic thing, which I haven't watched, but like.
What doesn't get you first rounders?
LTIR.
Oh, you're just saying they don't have picks.
Yeah.
Right. They've done damn well. They've been all in, as they should be. They've done very good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do this year. Well, what were you saying, Dean?
It's done well.
I was gonna say, have you seen that they're advertising like the saving Sakic thing on ESPN?
Yeah.
Every game.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
Because I didn't watch it. I don't have ESPN Plus anymore. But yeah, he got offer sheeted $15 million, and then they had to like come up with the money to match it.
I kind of like the commercial for it. I don't know. I just like the way the guy says it. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
$15 million. But yeah.
Yeah, the way he says it. I'm sick of hearing it because I've been hearing it for a month and a half now since the day playoffs started.
$15 million upfront, like whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw there was like somebody who said like made like a tweet about it, and they were like, instead of watching the show because it's like, or it's not very good apparently. Like there was like a 2-paragraph thing about it. It was like some band, I think, or some comedian or artist was under the label that also owned the Avs, and so like that they happened to make enough money where they were able to end up matching the offer sheet that the Rangers sent to keep him in Colorado. So it was like the success of some band, and I think once I find out what it is in the editing process, I'll be like, oh my god, yeah, it was that huge band. But yeah, so that was the story, I think. But
Stars scored again.
Oh my gosh. And the Minnesota Boston game is 1-0 Minnesota heading into the third.
Ooh.
So
Into the
Edmonton
third?
has one shot. Well, I guess Dallas only has 5.
Did
2 goals
do they
on 5
they have
shots.
2 goals.
Yeah.
What are the scores of these girls' games? They
Um,
3-2, they low, they under.
Well, the
They've been
last game was a
low, yeah.
1-0 game in double overtime. There was 4-1,
Wow.
3-0. There were a couple other low scoring games, but there have been
The
a couple
4-3
high scoring
was
ones.
game 1.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, mostly under.
Yeah.
2-0 Dallas. Did you just say that and I missed that?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
2 goals on 5 shots.
I heard you say 5 shots and Edmonton has 1. I didn't hear you say 2-0.
So if this wasn't reason to not start Skinner, I think I don't know what is. I mean, I don't know what the quality of these shots were, but 60%. That's
I also
not
don't know if
cutting
this is accurate because I'm just on. Oh no, because NHL
On
Game
the NHL
Pass it
website.
says there's 10:36 left in the first, but Skinner has played. Okay, now he's played 9:11, but maybe it just doesn't update the same. Like maybe they already pulled him.
Maybe he was out for a delayed penalty.
Maybe, but I think it's just not updating
Might not be.
like, exactly.
Let me check the old trusty NHL app.
Yeah.
Trusty?
God, I love it.
That's not the way that I would describe it. I
Yeah,
would
you're
use
right.
meaner words, I think.
Yeah, well, that's not a reason to listen to Z Spears Gambling Corner. I don't know what is. I also had Dallas first period, in case you're wondering.
There you go.
Still
Did
early.
you see the advertisements for this DataCast thing, Zach?
What's that?
They were advertising it. They're doing it for this series actually, the Dallas series. Basically, it's on like True TV or on Max. They have the game, but also they have like stats. So at the bottom of the screen, they show basically who's on the ice, their time on the ice, and it shows when they get like when they line change. And on the right side, there's like advanced analytics basically of time on attack and things like that. And then when they break down the goals, they were showing like the goalie's angle and like percentage chance of scoring and all this stuff. It's basically they advertise it as like the hockey game for nerds.
I did not see that.
But yeah, we checked it out. I think game 1 of this series.
Yep.
And I liked it. One of my main complaints was that like the broadcasters they did a really good job breaking down the statistics and like analysis, but I feel like their play calling wasn't as good as the guys that just broadcast for a living.
The comment,
Like,
yeah. The guys
wasn't
paid
much
for that.
excitement to it. Yeah, it was good. The other thing is like I feel like the thing on the bottom of the screen with the players doesn't need to be that big.
Yeah.
You're watching the game on 70% of your screen because the rest is all stats. I'm like, they can probably work on that.
It's a little obtrusive for sure, but I did notice that like when I first turned it on, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what we're working with. Like,
Yeah.
that is not a ton of real estate, but
Someone was saying just
tough
get rid of
balance.
the profile pictures and just have like their jersey number or something. It's like you don't need to see McDavid's face. You can like make that way smaller. But I mean, I like it. I like trying things, and it was cool, especially the intermission. The way they broke things down, that was good.
I can't watch any like I just don't feel right watching anything other than the game. Like any like live streams, like the the Chicklets guys, or I see a lot of people do like live streams.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I couldn't get myself to watch it, especially if my team was playing. Let alone even
I wouldn't. Yeah, no.
But
Well,
I
it's
don't
also-
even think I could get myself to do it with one of these games.
It depends what
I
you
don't know
like.
why.
Because like
Yeah, you're right.
if you want your announcer to be kind of like the Doc Emmerich of saying passes the puck to who, blah 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 blah, just like saying exactly what's
Yeah.
happening, like basically painting a picture for you, or if you don't mind like conversation, like I don't mind when Nesson does the interviews during play. I'm like that's kind of cool, like it's something to listen to while I'm watching the play. Like
What do you
when
mean
they're
by the
interviewing,
What do you mean the interviews?
like when they have like Bergeron up in the
yeah.
booth with Jack and Brick.
Yeah.
Like I like
Yeah.
that.
I guess I do too if it's your team, but I don't think I would want to do it like when I'm watching, the game tonight.
Like a national broadcast, you wouldn't want
Right.
that for.
I
Yeah.
think the national broadcasts do a good enough job, especially at this stage in the season, right? I will say I wish that TNT had the East and ESPN had the West. I like the TNT is better. I can't stand Subban. I'm not real big on Messier. Callahan.
I don't care for the ESPN guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Steve
like Bob
Levy
Wischusen,
does a
though.
good job. Yeah, I do too. I mean, I do too. I think the guys that call the game are good, but the panel guys,
the
I
panel,
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really a Sean McDonough fan, though, which isn't really a super hot take. A lot of people don't like him.
Isn't he the Boston guy?
No, he's like the national broadcaster who's doing the Rangers series.
But I think he's Boston.
Oh, he's a native from the area.
Yeah. Whoever did Game 7 of the Bruins Leafs game, which I think was him, because they were kind of there was a little bit of conversation about it, like how cool the pasta call was, and him just trying to be non-biased and.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I just feel like his energy is not what I want. Although I did think his call for the Florida power play goal in overtime last night was pretty good. So, I don't know. Maybe he's working on it. Hold on. Jeez. He's all over the place.
Is it your pup?
Cat.
Dog, cat.
Good old Eddie.
You'll be hanging off the jersey rack before the episode's over.
Yeah. Oh, no. He won't be doing anything like that. I guess let's jump into a couple more things we got here on the old docket. We did have a trade recently with some picks swapped around. The Islanders and the Blackhawks swap first rounders, and the Islanders get a second round pick out of it. So I'll just quickly go over the details. So Blackhawks acquire the 18th overall pick and the 50th overall pick, so that's a second rounder. And then the Islanders get the 20th overall, 54th overall, and 61st, both of those being second rounders. So the Islanders move down 2 spots and get a second round pick, which pretty much everybody's kind of questioning what the rationale was for the Blackhawks, because you don't see these kind of trades done a month before the draft. When you really know what the playing field is going to look like for who you can get at those picks.
Yeah.
How do you
They must
know?
Have somebody in mind.
I
must
know.
have somebody in mind who they think is, right there in that 18 to 20 range, right?
If they're...
That's the only, like you said, that's the only reason.
Yeah, because normally they'll do it on draft day, once a few picks have happened,
Right.
so where players are falling. Because maybe
Exactly.
18, maybe at 20 your pick is still there that you wanted at 18. Only 2 picks apart.
I know. And is it really worth a second to move up 2
Well, they
spots?
traded down their second round pick too, 4 spots, but
yeah,
that seems even less noticeable at that point. But yeah, knowing Lou, he's probably got some plan, and no one's gonna hear anything about it until it happens.
Well, he just gets the extra
down,
pick. I mean,
right?
he moved down. I don't think it was really...
But maybe they're doing this to get more draft capital to trade, or the Blackhawks could be doing that too. If you now have a higher first round pick, you can trade that. I mean, the Blackhawks are obviously rebuilding.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're trying to inch their way forward up a couple more spots. If maybe they trade this pick that they just got for this 15th or 14th overall or something. If they just keep trying to slowly package their way up, maybe they have somebody in mind like that. But
The drafts are so hard,
weird.
though. I mean, you could. I mean, just an easy example that I know. I mean, you could get Pasternak, Dean at 26th or 24th, whatever you got him at, or you could have nothing against Trent Frederick, or you could have Trent Frederick at 29th or 30th or whatever you got him at. I mean, it's 3 pick difference.
Mm-hmm.
Different drafts, but I'm just saying both first round picks within 3 or 4, and there's a pretty drastic talent level there difference.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Barzal, Jake DeBrusk, Kyle Connor.
Kyle Connor,
Name a couple other
Thomas
finishes.
Chabot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go through the whole list.
Yeah, that one hurt.
It
That
is-
one hurt bad.
That one's gonna hurt for a long
Dean,
time.
if they hit on 2 out of 3 of those picks, they have a cup or 2 by now, or 2.
I'd say a cup, yeah, maybe.
I mean, they were right there in 2019. That probably puts them over the top in 2019 when guys are still on entry level deals.
Well, would they have been the 2015 draft? That's a 3-year contract. You have to pay them the 18-19.
Sure, but who knows? I mean, it could have been a college guy.
They would have had to trade DeBrusk.
Why? When?
Wouldn't have had the money. They would have had to pay Barzal and Kyle Connor and Thomas Chabot.
Yeah, I
entry level
mean, you could have
contract.
done something different. I mean, you get the Riley buyout.
It would have been a different team for sure.
Well, wait, wasn't DeBrusk one of the picks? Like they wouldn't have picked him.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was saying
I mean,
Or two
DeBrusk
of them.
one of the 3 picks.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
if he walks and goes to a different team, that draft hurts even more.
Yeah.
It was almost 10 years ago, and
None of them are left.
Yeah, people still hate Don Sweeney for that.
Yeah,
They do.
that was a bad luck. It was a bad luck. You can't miss on 3 in a row
No.
at 13, 14, 15.
You want Sweeney fired?
No, I mean, I think he's done all right. I don't love him, but I think he's done his job since then.
Especially like people talk about what he did or didn't do at the deadline, like on certain years. Like, well, this year it's like, what are you gonna do? Last year he went all out. Like, you can't do
This
that every
year, I think both last year and this year were the right decisions. Last year was the year to go all in.
Yeah,
This year he didn't know, and he just did what he did. I think that's a good decision.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's obviously not. There's a lot of other people that got to have a say in these picks, these deadline moves, everything. But
Yeah.
Easy to just, throw it all in the GM, for sure.
mm-hmm.
Which, speaking of which, we've got a couple of GM changes recently as well. So Don Waddell steps down as GM in Carolina and joins Columbus as their president of hockey operations and general manager. And then Eric Tulsky named the interim GM in Carolina, which apparently he's gotten a lot of praise. Like, he's been sort of touted as the guy for a while now, like as the successor to Waddell. So it sounds like that's the way they're trending. I don't know if maybe they're still looking for somebody else. But I think these moves are like beneficial for both teams. It sounds like. I think Waddell being a veteran general manager, which the Blue Jackets have literally never had. All 3 of their GMs that they've hired have been first-time general managers, or at least at this level. So having an experienced, GM, especially like with the success that Carolina had their whole time that he was there. They made the playoffs every year that he was the GM. So it's like, I think this is what Columbus has needed for a while. So I think it's a good move by them. We'll see if he changes anything up with the head coach too, or if they stick with Vincent.
So who is Columbus's GM right now?
He is Waddell.
I thought you said he was president of
Both.
hockey op.
He's both.
Okay.
Same with
Gotcha.
Dubas in Pittsburgh. It's the same situation.
Gotcha.
Did we talk about Brindamore last week?
Oh, how he's
He
like
got-
on the fence about coming
He got
back.
extended.
Oh, he got extended?
5-year extension.
Really? I didn't see that at all, like anywhere.
I didn't hear that or see that either. 5 years, huh?
Yeah, which is long for like that
That is
for a
long.
position. But I mean, like there was all the questions this year. I think last time he was up for being re-signed, there
Yeah.
were questions. So he probably is like, let's just get a long deal because I won't have to deal with this again in a few years.
Wow, yeah, I completely missed that one. So
Yeah.
good on you,
Nothing
Dean.
gets by me.
Lots of stuff going on in Carolina.
Thank you. 32 thoughts.
Oh, you linked it right there as I looked for it for myself.
Oh,
Thanks, Dean.
you're welcome.
So yeah, I think it'll be and I think Carolina's got a fascinating off season this year too, with what they're gonna do with Gensel and if they move on from Natchez, if they change the goaltending situation. So we'll sort of table that for the off season. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a great off season for hockey, just because the cap finally going up. It seems like a lot of people are gonna have space, so they're gonna be wanting to make aggressive moves. July 1st is gonna be a good one.
Is that cap number confirmed? I know it's going up, but is the number set in stone?
I think the league came out and basically said the projected cap. I don't think they definitely said cap ceiling is this. I know Cap Friendly is already updated to show that. That ceiling
84 or 85 something now versus
87.7 is what the upper limit is.
What was it before? 82 or 83?
It was 83.5 before this, so went up 4.2 million.
4 more million to give to Brusque.
No, not that I just don't see it happening, Dean.
Yeah.
So
by the way, the Dallas game's tied 2-2 now in the first.
Come on.
I told you.
Edmonton had
Did I
9
not?
shots.
Did I not
Dallas
say it's
has
early?
not gotten another shot since they scored their second goal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The Oilers are actually out shooting them. That's craziness.
Is Skinner still in?
Yet.
Oh, and McLeod scored, which he just came into the lineup. So I guess I take back everything I said.
And Bouchard.
What is going on with this? The NHL website, I'll have it on the scores page, and then it'll just randomly go blank.
Yep.
Why does it do that?
Too many people checking the score.
Like I have to refresh it every time.
I'm using Google. That's why, because the NHL website is as bad as the app now.
Oh, okay.
Also,
You just
Minnesota
have
scored again.
Oilers score a widget.
Well, and then I went to like extras. Yeah, I'll put it at the top of this doc. It's
Who
like
scored the
game
Minnesota goals, Dean?
pass.
2-0 now. I didn't see that.
Denise is the girl that I went to school with.
I don't know how to check that. I probably go to the website.
I think I have it
my
here.
goodness.
Well, I'm watching it on YouTube. I don't know. Game Center. Here we go.
Liz Shepers.
Nicole
and
Hensley.
Michaela
and-
Cava.
Oh, that's a goalie change. Oh, they pulled a goalie? Wait.
Insurance goal.
Oh, wait. At the start of the game, it says goalie change. Weird. Goals. Just only show goals.
Oh, and now a penalty on Fratkin.
Oh.
That's not good.
I didn't see the first one. Yeah, Liz Shepard, who's like 25. And
What?
years old.
Oh,
she was
years
born in
old.
99. Like really young.
That's
2
crazy.
years younger than me.
That's crazy to think about. That 99 makes you 25. I'm 25 and I was born in 95. That's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
And then Michaela Cava.
Yeah, something like that.
No, not the girl I know.
Still early, I guess.
Second period?
Third period.
Third period. There's 11:18 left.
Ooh.
Boston's
get one.
gotta pull out another miracle. Otherwise, it'll be Minnesota. After having the fans literally holding signs in the stands that said "We won the cup," and then it's like, oh, you gotta put those down. It was so tough to watch. I mean,
No, if
you
you're a
gotta
Boston
feel for 'em.
fan.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I was like happy with the result, I guess, but it was still like, oh man, that's not the way you want it to happen. Like, rip their hearts out like that.
Yeah.
There's no ill will between these two fan bases, I don't think.
Till next year.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We've also had some head coaching changes as well. So Scott Arniel hired as the head coach for the Winnipeg Jets after he was the assistant coach. And I think he was the interim coach while Bonus was dealing with some like family matters for a little bit too. So he already sort of assumed that role for part of the season last year. We'll see how this works out. I think a lot of people were hoping that they didn't go with him. I guess he's kind of a divisive coach. So we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. I don't have a ton of opinions on him because I really am not that familiar with his game, how he coaches, I guess. So I'll know more after this next season, but you can take that as you will. I don't know if you guys have anything on him.
Not really.
Yeah.
No. I was just thinking about it though. It is going to be an awesome off season. Just there's so many teams that it's going to be interesting to see, with that Winnipeg being one of them. Just to see what they do. Just it's going to be a good off season.
Yeah, and we still got a couple coaching vacancies too.
Yeah.
But one that is no longer vacant is the Seattle head coaching job goes to Dan Bilesma. Won the cup with the Penguins in 2009. Won the Jack Adams in 2011. I think it's been like 7 NHL seasons since he last coached in the league. He was coaching Coachella Valley. I think he's still coaching them right now because they're in the Western Conference Finals for the Calder Cup playoffs. So they're promoting their AHL affiliate. I think that's probably a good move. Some people have also been ripping on this one a little bit. I think he's gotten some flack in the past for how he coaches, and I guess some people are like, well, he hasn't coached in the league in a while, so that means he doesn't know what he's doing. I don't really agree with that. I don't love all of the constant recycling of head coaches in the league. So, I mean, he's already been in the league before, so it's not like someone brand new. But I think this could work. It's better than Hackstall, apparently, because he was kind of getting some flack from the players throughout the season this past year. So we'll see how things shake out with the new guy.
I think Seattle will have a turnaround season. I think they're gonna have a decent season next year.
They've got the pieces.
Their young guys are growing up, and they'll be coming up with, the new coach there.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of the younger guys have already played under him in Coachella Valley too. Yeah. So it's good to get that growth, especially with Shane Wright, who's probably spent a decent amount of time with him in Coachella Valley, and now hopefully he plays for Seattle at least at some capacity this year. So yeah, there's great storylines for a lot of these teams as we headed closer and closer to the off season.
And like you said, it is nice to see not just the same recycled coaches every time. Part of this is I don't really have much to say about these coaches because I don't know. It's not like a big name that just coached last year for an NHL team. They haven't coached in the league for a while, or they're an interim or whatever. So it is nice to have some somewhat fresh faces.
Nice not to know.
Yeah.
The unknown. I mean, we weren't really watching, or at least I wasn't watching back then when he was coaching in the league. So it'll be new for me. I'm sure people that have watched him in the past have more info on him, but I'm still a youngin in the NHL world, I guess. Probably been watching the least out of the three of us.
Definitely.
The least pain.
Yeah.
That's
the least
true.
Pain and misery.
That's definitely true.
All right, boys. I gotta jump. Oh, iPad's also about to die. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Thanks for stopping by.
you.
We'll have you again for an off-season Bruins deep dive, maybe.
Absolutely.
I can certainly get behind that.
And Gifford
Absolutely.
for a Vegas one.
Yeah, we can dedicate like some segments specifically to teams like throughout the off season. I think that would be good. We probably won't be able to get a fan for each team, but do our best.
I can do a couple, but the Bruins will be my special.
Sounds good.
We'll have you do the Sens and not Owen.
Yeah. You've seen the Sens live more than he has.
Probably.
they're easy for me. I mean, especially when you go get tickets for $11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really maybe not anymore, but you used to be able to.
Not too shabby. Well, thanks.
All right, fellas. Thanks for having me. Be in touch.
See
Toodaloo.
you later.
Yeah.
Oh, you already got rid of it. The NHL Game Center one. And during intermission, they have the Zambonis animated on the rink, and they're moving.
Oh yeah.
Like, but they're changing. I'm like, are they actually tracking them? Because the patterns have changed this whole time. Like, the animation is actually going to cover the whole ice. Like, now they're up near the perimeter, and they started in the middle. And, like, if they can put this much effort into tracking the Zambonis, it's like, surely we could do something better with the broadcast.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, though.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is this the last lap? They're doing the perimeter.
They're not quite on the perimeter for me yet. They're almost there.
Well, then maybe it's...
I don't know how it works.
How much? What do you have for intermission left? 12:07.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not tracked then.
Maybe not. Maybe it's just a fun little animation.
But they put so much effort into it. Whatever intern did this, kudos to you.
Good
I
job.
guess.
Yeah. Appreciate the effort. If it's not tracked, then whatever. I mean, you still have to do an animation either way, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean they haven't driven over the same spot yet. Like, good stuff.
That is good. I guess we could have. Well, Zach mentioned this briefly while we were on, and then we said we would table it. But Pasta does win gold with Czechia in Prague at the IHF Men's World Tournament. So that was pretty fun for them, for the home team to win. I saw some pretty good footage of fans using the subway or whatever it is called there.
Yeah, shaking the whole thing.
Going absolutely wild. It's like, yeah, they're still going crazy, and there was some good shots of the the players drinking out of the cup and doing like a little parade or whatever it was that they were doing. So that was pretty cool. And there were a handful of NHL players on that roster. Pasta and Zaka for the Bruins. I think Radko Gudas was over there as well. Natchez too, I believe, because I think I saw him signing somebody's Canes jacket or jersey or whatever. I don't know who else. Maybe a couple other guys. But yeah, it was pretty fun. Pasta was also hanging out with his wife and his baby on stage, like celebrating the win. I don't know if you saw that one, Dean.
Yeah, I saw like that whole Instagram. Like he like posted like 7 or 8 pictures, and his caption was talking about how he wanted to be at the what's it called?
The Four Nations face-off.
Four Nations face-off, yeah. Because whatever, only the Canadian and America, whatever teams, I forget, but like no Czech.
It was
like how about now?
I think it was Canada, U.S., Sweden, and Finland probably. I think are the 4.
Maybe.
So yeah, they're not included, and it's like, well, we just won the gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think America and Canada both didn't even medal. I don't think. Maybe Canada got bronze. Not sure. I know it was. No, I think they lost because I know Switzerland was in the finals and lost, and then I think it was maybe Sweden that got bronze or somebody else. Ah, jeez.
But yeah, Pasta with the game-winning goal, and then yeah, seeing all the pictures of him celebrating was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty fun, and to win, at home obviously is always good.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Now I gotta frickin' find it. It's gonna drive me nuts. Do they have it for this year? No, that's not. All right, whatever. I'll find it later. We are coming down to the wire in the PWHL game. I don't have it up because my, I think my audio or not audio, my video was getting a little funky with both me watching the stream and doing the call, so I might not be able to see the live reaction.
When it gets close.
Yeah.
Commercial right now. So. And then the other playoff, which we briefly touched on, was the AHL playoffs with the Calder Cup, and it was on the page, but I forget the. I know Coachella's in it.
Yeah, so it's Coachella Valley Firebirds versus the Milwaukee Admirals in the Western Conference.
Monsters
and then
the Hershey Bears.
Yep, Cleveland Monsters, Hershey Bears. And these are best of 7 series now, because they weren't all best of 7.
Right.
The rest of them I think were either best of 3 or best of 5.
Yeah, I root for Coachella Valley because I like their style.
Yeah, I like their drip too, and they lost last year to Hershey, so that'd be cool. Milwaukee has Askarov has been doing pretty well. I know that he's been highly talked about. You know, as the next guy in Nashville for a while.
Yeah, 'cause he was a first-round pick, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, these playoffs are actually starting tonight.
Oh, okay. Oh, and it was Sweden taking bronze, so I got that right. Over Canada.
Yeah, Coachella, Milwaukee play tonight, and then Hershey and Cleveland play tomorrow. And it's like they're doing mostly every other night, maybe not. Every other night for the first 2 games, and then they're on the same nights at the same time.
Oh, same time. That stinks. Then that's kind of weird with East versus West too, like having them at the same. I don't know about that. Like, it's not like these
Unless
buildings
it's local
are
time. I don't know. On the website, it just says 7 p.m. for all of them.
Yeah, maybe it's 7:00 local.
Yeah.
For the starts. I'd imagine Sam would be still pushing for Hershey, as he kind of got into the Caps because of the Hershey run there.
Right.
So we'll see if they make it back to the finals. I don't know if I'll really be watching a ton of this, just because I don't know. It's so tough to juggle all these leagues. Although PWHL wraps up tonight, so that's a guarantee. One less league to worry about.
Well, it might not wrap up tonight if it goes to enough overtimes to go until tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh God, no. Yeah. I mean, it's not looking likely. We got what? 4:30 to go.
Oh, I guess around there.
Where were you at?
4:54.
Okay. Don't worry, nothing happened in those 20 seconds.
The shots are 43-16, Minnesota.
Oh God.
I think Minnesota's been the better team this series.
Which I sent a Snapchat to the group. Oh boy, when I thought that Minnesota had won, and then saying that the lower seeded team, the underdog, won every series, which might be the only time this ever happens in the league's history potentially, because that's pretty rare, and obviously there's only 3 series, so it's a lot more statistically likely to happen now versus in 5-10 years when they've got more teams, and it's just weird that it worked out that way. If that's how it rounds out in the next couple of minutes here.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Boston, you had your chance. You gave yourself a chance to come home and hoist the cup.
I didn't even know didn't even think they were gonna make the playoff for the longest time. So to get here,
pretty good for sure.
Into the finals.
And I guess
all the way to the finals.
Yeah, all the way. Pushed them to Game 5 too. And I mean, I guess it's kind of fitting that the purple team which purple is the color of the PWHL like logo and everything, would be the one to win in the inaugural year.
They're saying it's rigged.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. The league definitely wanted the Minnesota team to lose in overtime after thinking that they were gonna win, just so they could win it not at home in Game 5.
Also, there's over 50,000 people watching on YouTube right now.
Wow, that's
Oh,
pretty
don't
great.
show the sad Boston fan.
Oh no, I gotta pull it up and hopefully everything doesn't tank too badly. Let me just see how this will wrap up.
I just want to see the ceremony and stuff.
Yeah, I will be.
I don't know. We
interested
can
to see
just
how that
cut
goes.
whatever silence is and whatever, but
It's gonna be tough. I did get to see a heartbreaker as well. I saw it live yesterday. Me, Gifford, and Bree went to the Game 6 of the ECHL Eastern Conference Finals here in Glens Falls, and the Adirondack Thunder fall to the Florida Everblades, who make their third straight Calder Cup, or not Calder Cup, Kelly Cup finals appearance. One of those cups, and which I think is the first time that that's happened in the league's history. No team has ever won 3 straight, and I think this is the most, like, they have the most finals appearances of any franchise, so they're just like the dominant franchise for the ECHL apparently. So good for them. It was a hard-fought series by Adirondack. They didn't really belong to be there, in my opinion. Their power play was like pretty awful most of the playoffs, especially in that series. They were down 4-1. They let a shorthanded goal in, and then they clawed back late. They got like 2 quick ones, and then couldn't find the equalizer late in the third. They had a couple chances, but weren't able to get it done. So that was a tough one, but now I don't have to spend any more money going to games.
there you go.
It was a fun season, though. My first season following them. I'll definitely be checking out some more games next year. I was going to buy a t-shirt at the game, but it was $45 for like the thinnest shirt I've ever seen, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's
tough.
That's steep. Like, I want to rep the team. I think it would be fun to have some sort of merchandise to wear around and wear to the games, but I can't see myself spending that much on a shirt.
Yeah, you probably find it cheaper online.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably some of the playoff specific merchandise is gonna be
Net 3-0. 2:06 left.
The chat's going crazy.
Kendall Coin Schofield.
El Capitano, I think.
I think so too.
Which I didn't realize at first that it just says coin. It doesn't say coin Schofield. Or is it Schofield or Schofield? I never know.
I think it says Schofield.
It just says coin, so thought that was interesting. Oh, poor Boston fans. More heartbreak in Boston. But honestly, Minnesota needs a win when it comes to sports. Like they never win anything.
It makes sense for it to be hockey.
Yeah, they're probably more of a hockey state than Massachusetts. Maybe not by a ton.
Massachusetts has a lot of NHLers.
It does. But both states do compared to a lot of other ones. I don't know how many PWHL players the states have. I feel like maybe Minnesota would have
number one. Oh, well, I'm sorry by points. Players. Minnesota's still number one.
Yeah.
But by points, Minnesota was 1 and Massachusetts was 4. But by players, Minnesota is first and Massachusetts is 3.
Oh. Okay. I'd imagine New York is probably up there.
Less players, but about 900 more points. Oh, well, let's look at games. Yeah, over 1,000 more games played.
That's a lot.
feel like the additional 2,700 penalty minutes seems high though for 1,000 games played. But
There must be a couple guys really skewing those numbers.
Bogosian,
Oh yeah, he gets into his fair share of scraps and things. Maybe not as much nowadays, but
that's your penalty minutes. Nick Foligno has the most. He's also played close to 1,200 games.
yeah.
And then Marcus Foligno.
Yeah, all of them. All the Felinos are like
and
that.
Zach Bogosian, then Shattenkirk, Miles Wood. Patrick Kane has 442 penalty minutes.
I didn't realize he was from New York.
Buffalo.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forget. And when they were like thinking about if he was gonna come over to Buffalo instead of Detroit in the off season, I was like, oh, he's from there. It's like, nah, he's not going to frickin' Buffalo.
He's like, I know what it's like in the winter there. No thanks.
Yeah, no. I'm
Here
gonna
we
play
go,
for a
Minnesota.
real team. Yeah,
The winner.
2 seconds and 1. There they go. Congratulations, Minnesota,
Yeah, Boston
PWHL.
fans clapping. Wow, maybe they're just saying, good job.
They're just saying,
Boston.
you know what? You did it. And the Boston, you gave it your best effort.
Whoa, oh, I forgot they have the drone camera. This is so cool.
Oh, that's cool. So the 4 seed wins the inaugural Walter Cup. And so I think they each get their own, like I think the teams each get their own engraved personal trophy rather than one that's like shared. Pretty sure that's how it works. So we'll see what it looks like when it's all engraved. But, I mean, I think for the ending to be Game 5, and obviously this game wasn't super close, but still to have a competitive series, get the most money, I guess, that the league can get as far as the finals, like, it's pretty good. They only had one series that didn't go the distance, and that was the Boston-Montreal series. All those games went to overtime, I think, but Boston won them all. All 3. So, pretty fun. No Canadian teams in the finals was also nice. Go USA. Yeah. Woo!
I like that the hockey stereotype continues in the PWHL with the players missing teeth.
Yeah.
I saw someone with missing a few front teeth. Like, nice.
No chiclets for the chicks.
But I feel like they wear full. They don't even have visors, right? They have full.
Yeah, they have cages.
Yeah.
Either cages or bubbles, I think.
So I don't know how that happened, but respect.
Maybe they don't have to wear them for practice.
Yeah, maybe.
Boston, give one more salute. Oh, the fans are crying. Yeah, it's tough. Then this is one of your best chances, as when there's only 4 teams that make it. You win one round, it's like, hey, all we gotta do is win one more.
Yeah.
How hard could that be, Oh, well, that one wraps up. Good for Minnesota.
I'm telling you, the NHL needs more drones. This is good stuff.
Did you see there was that fight in that Canadian league where they had a cameraman go on the ice during a fight?
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a predetermined fight.
No, I don't think so, but they
He's like they're fighting, get in there.
Yeah, go. It was something like that. Like they send him in and it's like, okay, this is what we're doing. And they're like spinning around like it's a freaking movie. It was pretty cool actually. I'm for that. I'll have to find what league that was in, or what, if that was the Memorial Cup maybe, I don't know. But that was cool.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
So, are they gonna do like a lifting the cup ceremony, you think? I'd imagine that they would.
We'll see.
Who lifts it first? I'm sure the captain.
Yeah.
Capitano. Jamie Lee Rattray. She had a pretty good...
Schofield is their name twice,
yes.
so that's how you pronounce it. And yes, she is the captain.
There we go.
So Boston players seem pretty happy. Like, I feel like in the NHL, Stanley Cup losers are like in despair.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Also,
they're
it's
just
like 2 months versus this was a month or whatever. Like it's
true.
a longer run, obviously, but I mean, I think part of it you're just happy to be in this league that like you finally have this attendance and everything.
That's
And
what I'm thinking too. Like a part of it's just like, you know
happy to
what?
be here.
Happy to have this opportunity, have all these people here in the building and watching at home, which like you never really know the inaugural year how things are going to shape up. So they're just probably glad that the league was as successful as it was this year. Can't blame them, really.
Yeah.
And I have noticed a lot of people that have merch for the teams still, even with like the limited options that they can do with no branding and just Boston green PWHL logo. Like that's all that you can really use. So
a lot of people wearing green. There was someone with the Packers jersey.
yeah, I did see
Someone
the
with
Packers jersey. I'm like, that's
the
clever.
Bergeron green like jersey.
Oh, like the St. Patrick's Day. Oh,
Yeah.
or was it a shirtsy? You were saying?
Yeah. I think it was some St. Patrick's Day thing.
That's pretty fun. Definitely, that happens at the Adirondack games. Like people just wear whatever jersey they want, or whether they'll wear like a Devils one because they're the affiliate of the Devils and stuff. I was wearing a Flames jersey at the game last night, which because they actually were the Adirondack Flames for a little bit, or they were at least partnered with the Flames. I think it was for the beginning before they switched over to the Devils. So you'll see like some Thunder jerseys that have the Flames like logo and like style or whatever. But yeah. I don't know. Do we have much else on the docket? Doesn't really look like it.
Oh, there's OMG, Minnesota just won the cup. Let's hear it for the champs. Yeah, there's some signs here tonight too. No, I don't really have anything else. I have other ideas for this off-season podcasting too, so don't you worry. I'm saving
good.
them up.
I've been like thinking about some stuff that I want to do, like more quiz ideas. I think it'll be
I have a quiz
a lot of
idea.
fun.
It's more just asking you questions though.
That's fine. I love doing that stuff, even if it's just me playing by myself.
I gotta challenge you on things that you're not good at, you know?
Oh, I'm not okay with that.
Well, I can give you a hint if you want to start studying. It's going to be about the X's and O's of hockey.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's not good. You know I am terrible at that stuff because I never played, and that's one
I
part
know
of
it
the game
from
I don't
Chell.
have. Yeah, I haven't played Chell either, so I will see about trying to study up for that, but I don't know how long out I have.
Did you have you been continuing reading through the rule book?
No, I was thinking about that. I've taken a bit of a hiatus. I'm probably gonna pick that up in the off season too, although they'll put out a new rule book, so I guess it'll be outdated. I don't know when the new rule books like get issued, when they decide on those things, if that's like preseason or I'm not sure. But I think it'll loosely still be the same, I guess. So that's probably what I'll do. But yeah, lots more to come after the conclusion of the NHL playoffs, which I think the episode after we wrap up, or after the NHL playoffs wrap up, will be our end of season 1, and then jump into season 2.
Oh boy.
Woo!
Yeah, we'll have our clip show.
Yes,
Everyone loves clip shows.
I'm working on that. We're gonna have a end of season compilation, sort of, all the fun moments and big news items for the inaugural season that we're covering here. I think it should be pretty fun. So if you get a chance when that comes out, please check it out. But we're a couple weeks away from that, and I don't know how long it'll actually take Dean to go through it. I mean, I think I'll probably work with you on it, because it's gonna be quite the undertaking. But I think the end product should be really
Also, I was
enjoyable.
just thinking, normally the last game of the cup is like mid-June, right?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, I haven't told you this yet, but I'm getting LASIK June 20th. That's
Oh,
like
really?
so that weekend I probably will try to limit my screen time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah,
yeah, we'll
okay.
probably record that Wednesday, and then who knows from there? Who knows where we'll be in the playoffs? But
Yeah, I'm not sure.
yeah.
Well, it might be. I think the earliest that the final can wrap up is June 15th. I think the latest is maybe
Someone just won an
the
award.
24th. Oh, is this like MVP of the playoffs?
Taylor Heise.
Heise, first overall pick in the PWHL, so that makes some sense.
Is there gonna be something on the screen to tell me what award she won? It's like a cool looking prism.
Any graphic at all? Oh, that is pretty cool.
Yeah. She's tall. Or maybe everyone else is short.
I could see that lady with the white being pretty short. She looks pretty short.
Hey, just a quick message from your editor here. The last 10 minutes or so of this episode is us reacting live to the very first PWHL winner being crowned. We can't show you the footage that we were watching, but if you want to hear our reactions, feel free to stick around. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time. Hope you enjoy.
We're just watching now.
Don't mind us.
Yeah, don't hold on. We'll let you know when we got something more interesting. I just want
Most
to
valuable player.
Yeah, okay. I think the King Clancy Award got nominated or got awarded as
Only
well.
24.
I think it was Anders Lee that won that one.
She's 5'10".
Oh, okay. That's pretty much what I am. Yeah, Anders Lee with the King Clancy. For the NHL player who best exemplifies leadership qualities on and off the ice and has made a noteworthy humanitarian contribution in his community. There we go. So congrats to Anders Lee. Or Anders, I don't know. They're chatting. Oh man, they're kind of dragging this out. I just want to see him lift the cup.
The voice off for you too.
I have it muted, because otherwise it's gonna play through the recording. You'll have to fill me in. 40,000 people still watching the stream. Wonder how many people are watching in Canada. Because they have it on like TV there too.
Entering the ice for the very first time in history.
Oh.
Go Walter Cup.
I think you're a little ahead of me because I haven't seen it yet.
Wow.
Pretty fancy.
Even the box is fancy.
Oh, the box. I gotta see that.
I always appreciate when you buy a product and the unboxing is just really fancy, you know?
Yeah, I do like that. Oh,
When you buy a new phone, it like folds open on like hinges. And
yeah.
Yeah. This must be quality.
And then you get the nice plastic peel. Oh.
Yeah. I think since it's a brand new trophy, they'll like just stuff the peel off of it.
That would be pretty funny.
like we just bought this right off the factory. Here's
yeah,
the fresh peel. No one's put their fingerprints on it yet.
They've got like the cardboard box and it's like styrofoam peeling off of it. Like we
who's
just got this from Tiffany.
We gotta open this.
Yeah,
like tape off.
Like hopefully nothing's broken in here. I don't even know what it looks like. The gals are pumped up.
Do you think these two people carrying the cup? Oh, there's a drone. These two people carrying the cup are going to be the keepers of the cup, like in the NHL.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, if it's like everybody gets a new one every year, it'll probably just be like keep it at the franchise headquarters. I have to get confirmation if it is just the one, or if they get a new one every year. Because I feel like it's too small. At least as far as engraving the names, like they're not gonna have a whole lot of room on there if it's engraved the name every year. But if they just put it on like the bottom or something.
Oh, here
Maybe
come the Walters.
Yep, the Walters are pretty much the biggest reason for why we have the PWHL this year. So I know some people were a little upset that they named it after like a man, but so be it.
Yeah.
Big proponent for women's hockey, clearly, and I assume that's his wife as well is involved. I just want to see somebody lift the thing, and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Mark Walter,
Yeah.
that's his name.
Like you said, still 40,000 people. And some Boston College jerseys in the
Mhm.
crowd.
What's going on in the Dallas-Edmonton game?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that game. Still 2-2.
Still 2-2. I just refreshed because I swore that it was on that same time for like 20 minutes, but I guess not. Some Bruins jerseys in the crowd too. I know that the location of where they're playing right now is not necessarily ideal for people that live in Boston, so it's nice to see that still all these people were able to make it out. They live near the school or whatever. What? Huh? Eddie's quite the chatterbox tonight. He's very loud.
I can't hear him on Discord, but I'm sure they'll get picked up on your end.
Yeah, I definitely hear him in the recordings because I've watched a couple of them back recently where he's been vocal. You'll definitely be able to hear him.
You have your AC on this time?
No, I do not. Oh, you can't see him down there. Just a little too close to the desk.
But we're ready to present or excited to present the Walter Cup, blah blah blah, and everyone started cheering, and she was like, "Wait, we're not ready. Hold on." Like, come on.
Like, come on, you said we're almost ready. Like, what are you doing? Billie Jean King.
Oh, they're picking it up. Here we go. The cup holders are picking it up.
Ah.
Now Mr. Walter is holding it.
Mark Walter. Jeez, I must be
Here
really
we go.
behind again. Why does it keep doing that? Oh, here we go. A player touched it. Yes, finally.
Yay.
The smoke.
You
Congratulations.
gotta see the first handoff. That's where he...
Yeah, the handoff is big. Oh, big yawn, buddy. He says he's ready for bed too, I guess. Did you see the guy dressed up as a hot dog?
Yay. So drawn out.
Yeah, they really.
Oh, look at that. They didn't even pass it necessarily.
Oh, they're
That's
all just
cool.
like smothering it.
She got attacked by a zombie horde.
Yeah. She's been eaten alive by her teammates. I guess that's fun
yeah,
too.
skate it around.
Yeah, you gotta skate it around. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah.
I've always wondered, like, especially with this inaugural year, like what it was like, what the feeling was like for those NHL players, like the first handful of years the league was getting started up, like how special it felt, like knowing that it's just getting started and you'd have no idea where it's gonna head, like how big things could be, especially back in the 1910s. It's like you have no idea what like major league sports can look like. So I'm sure the people who continue to win it year after year as we go on, like it becomes that much more special just because there's that much more history involved with what it takes to win. So it'll be an ever developing story for what it takes to win the PWHL Walter Cup.
The starting goalie handed off to the backup goalie. Love that.
That is fun.
Yeah, I guess we can wrap it up there.
I think so. Everybody, thanks so much for bearing with us on this one. It was a fun time. Zach's always a character to have on, so we appreciate him stepping in with late notice. And please subscribe if you haven't done so, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Yeah. We can have a Zach Spears betting corner segment on the pod.
Yeah.
No.
Everyone can get mad when they lose money.
Like we never said Zach Spears gets it right.
Later.
Yeah.
We just said we gave him a spotlight to talk. It doesn't mean that you should listen to him.